Good evening, Tallahassee. It's a beautiful evening out there with the sunset over Doak Campbell Stadium. An absolutely gorgeous Tuesday out there. Satellite and radar map, the high pressure has just been dominating the southeast region. It's been keeping those clouds and those showers far away from our area. Another high pressure here continuing to build into our region. It's kind of over the four corners right now, but on the map you can see all of these storm systems, a very active pattern. Here in Tallahassee locally, you can see there's not a whole lot going on. Like I said, there's clouds and showers are keeping away. Tonight, 46 degrees with clear skies. That sunset at 5:38 p.m. The sun is already set and making for a nice evening out there. Coming up with the rest of the show are mild conditions we've been experiencing. They're going to continue for us. They're not too bad at all. Looking at our next chance for rain and a closer look at our weekend forecast as we get ready for that holiday travel. FSU weather starts right now.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to your Tuesday edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Michael Annan.
And I'm student meteorologist Shane Wilder.
Yeah, very nice day out there. Temperatures pretty warm, pretty average for this time of year in the upper 60s, low 70s. But compared to how it was over the weekend and end of last week, much better.
Yeah, to say the least. Opposed to those 50s and that gray skies and the showers, we have crystal blue skies. Like I said, Michael said, about average 70 degrees. Honestly, a beautiful November day. Can't get any better.
Yeah, honestly, this entire week is going to be feeling pretty nice. Warming up very gradually until we go into the weekend. The weekend's not looking as great, but at least we're enjoying some nice fall-like weather for the next few days.
Yeah, as the saying goes, we'll cross the water when we get across that bridge. We don't have to worry about it right now. It's going to be great. It's going to get even a little bit warmer. Those evenings will stay cool, but in the daytime, you could probably bring out some shirts, shorts.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, just the mornings, you might want to bundle up, but afternoons are going to feel pretty great, honestly. Perfect time to just go outside, take a walk, head out to range, whatever you feel like doing in the afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe the red stays open on during the weekdays. You can chill at Landis, bring your dog out for a walk, all sorts of great activities.
Yeah, and we're going to take a look at what's happening here locally. We also have a lot of stuff going out towards the West Coast. Actually pretty active there for once. It hasn't been like that for a while. But for now, we're going to send it out to the wall with Jonathan for a look at the Southeast.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. So right now we're going to go ahead and look across our temperatures, and you'll notice we are fairly warm across the southeastern region. And actually, our coolest temperatures are out here in Charleston at 54. And you'll notice there's sort of a ridge of warmer temperatures from Shreveport to New Orleans to Miami. So our cities that are furthest on the edge are a little bit warmer. And as you get more and more inland, you'll get into those green colorings where it's a little bit cooler right now. And that's also going to be reflective in the dew points, where you have that green color on the dew point map that is indicative of moisture in the region, whereas the yellows and the browns, that's going to be drier area, just like the colors of a desert versus a rainforest. So lower dew points means we are not going to see much precipitation in the region, whereas in these other areas the weathers are going to be a little bit more active. And you'll also see that in the winds, whereas the winds are a little bit sporadic right now, but for the most part we have this high pressure system that Zach mentioned earlier that's dominating across the southeast, and the winds and the high pressure are going to rotate around this way, so that's going to cause some of the variation, with the exception of that gust right here in Tallahassee. That is a gust blowing from the southwest to the northeast. And this is that high pressure system down here that we mentioned. The air around it is blowing in a clockwise direction, and that's bringing some of the cooler air from the north, whereas in Dallas, in Houston, you have a little bit more moisture as the wind is blowing from the Gulf there. Miami as well, you have wind blowing in from over the sea, and that's going to mean it's a little bit more moist there. However, across the entire southeast, as a result of that high pressure system, we don't have very much precipitation or cloud cover going on right now. It has been a beautiful day in the Tallahassee region, and because of that, we do not have very many active alerts. We have a little bit of a coastal flood advisory out by Jacksonville, in Duval, and over by St. Augustine. That's a result of an onshore flow. Small craft advisory because of choppy choppy seas. That is a result of the newly named Tropical Storm Sebastian way out to sea in the Atlantic. Over the next 48 hours, because of that high pressure system, we aren't going to have very much active weather, although you will notice there is a little bit of thunderstorm activity associated with one of those fronts over the Dallas, Fort Worth, Oklahoma, and Arkansas regions. But for tonight, temperatures are going to be mostly very cool. That is a result of the lack of cloud cover that's going to allow some radiative heating to escape and is going to keep temperatures a little bit lower. Tomorrow's forecast, temperatures are going to be very pleasant outside. It's going to be in your 70s. Notice that cooler temperature is going to go ahead and sink a little bit further to the north. And for a closer look at the Tallahassee region and our warm temperatures, I'm going to go ahead and pass things off on to Cynthia.
Thanks, Jonathan. First, we're going to take a look at our live weather sim here. It's a gorgeous sunset over Doak Campbell Stadium. Sunset started at about 5:38 p.m. Looking at the national satellite and radar, the big thing to look at here is this high pressure system that's sitting over the southeast region or in the Atlanta and Tallahassee area. This is what's been giving us that gorgeous weather that we've been having all day today. And I don't know about you, but I've been enjoying it very much. For the local satellite and radar, again, not much going on, but this just means we've had gorgeous weather all day and it's going to continue for the rest of the week. For our temperatures tonight, everyone's hovering in the high 50s and lower 60s currently. Pardon me, that's not for tonight. That is what's currently going on in the area. For our dew points, very dry conditions. I'm enjoying this low dew point that we've been having. Everyone's hovering in the 40s, even down by the coast in Apalachicola. We're seeing a dew point of 48, which is great. For the next 24 hours, we'll get to continue enjoying the beautiful weather that we got to have all day today, and we'll continue through the rest of the week. Tonight, clear skies and 45 degrees. That temperature is sitting a little bit lower because we have that lack of cloud cover. For tomorrow, 71, another beautiful day. Winds coming in from the north at 7 miles per hour. Tomorrow for the Chattanooga and FSU basketball game at 6:30, make sure to bring a sweatshirt with you. Temperature is going to be in the 60s, still clear skies, so you won't need a rain jacket or an umbrella. The game is at 6:30 again at the Civic Center. For our 7-day forecast, beautiful weather for the rest of the week, hovering in the low 70s with our lows overnight in the 40s and 50s. If you look over at Saturday and Sunday, we're going to have some possible rain chances moving in, but the weather won't be too severe. And if you look at Monday and Tuesday of next week, we'll continue to see the temperatures hovering in the high 60s and low 70s. But for now, we'll bring things over to the desk with me and Jonathan.
Yeah, so right now, we might not have very active weather in the Tallahassee, but one of our most interesting systems that we have going on right now is that in the Atlantic, we have a late season tropical storm. So
Tropical Storm Sebastian, just northwest of the British Virgin Islands, but
Yes.
staying in the Atlantic, right?
Yes, he is it is a minimalist tropical storm, just winds at 45 miles per hour. Pressure is over 1,000 millibars, so it's a very weak system. It's moving northwest at 12 miles per hour right now, but eventually it's going to sort of recurve out to sea like that classic system we have, but it's not going to hit land, right?
Very grateful for the Caribbean that they're not going to experience a late storm in this November.
Yes, so to quote the namesake from the movie The Little Mermaid, we've got no troubles, life is the bubbles when it's just going out to sea. So for us weather nerds, this is more of an interesting system to watch develop.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like some of the other S names we've had in the past. Like in 2012, our last S name was Sandy. That was the last S storm named. Awful system. It created major damage from Sloane's hometown up in New Jersey. She was said earlier this evening that she was without power for multiple weeks as a result of that system. Luckily, this storm's just going to go right out to sea. It's not going to create any damage like that. But hurricane season is still in effect until November 30th.
So stay prepared. Keep your hurricane kits well stocked and ready to go, that you're up to date on your prescriptions, that you have a plan for your pets, excuse me. And I know that down here in Florida, we're always ready. We're used to hurricane season, but like Hurricane Sandy, late storm in the Northeast, they're not expecting that kind of harsh weather. So
Yes, and we actually have had a little bit of spike in global tropical cyclone activity recently. In the past week, there have been 2 systems, 2 of which were in the Eastern Pacific, and then we also have Tropical Storm Sebastian forming this morning in the Atlantic. And so we have had a little bit of an uptick, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to get that one system that's going to come, maybe make landfall on the continental U.S. late in the season. It's not, the general long-term pattern isn't necessarily looking like that right now.
Right.
But we do want to make sure that our viewers are still prepared for that just in case, right?
just in case, you never know.
So we're going to go ahead and pass things off to the wall where Hayden's going to take a look at our national patterns going on right now.
Thank you, Jonathan. We saw Pleasant in Tallahassee. Now we're going to find out how Pleasant is around the nation. Thanks, Michael, for hitting that chord there. So as you can see, Tallahassee is 60 degrees, so it's pretty nice. And also you can generally see it is a little bit cooler up in the northeast. Washington 53, Boston 44. Anyways, that's not what's currently going on, guys. So really in our area, as I point out, it is cooler in the northeast region, and then it is warmer in the west with that ridge coming in. Although there is a trough in the area, so that will impact those values. And so the dew points, you can really signify that November air into the region. Dallas-Fort Worth, dew point 42, Memphis 37, and the same thing out to northeast Washington 37 and northeast 39. The only region where you see a little bit more moisture is down by New Orleans, and of course down by Miami. You can always count on them to be a little bit more moist. And so this is just an overall indication that we're transitioning towards that winter season, that really dry air. It's really cool, and it really is going to start to come in December. But for now, we don't have to worry about that. It is very pleasant. This high pressure in the southeast really keeping things very nice. Like you said, highs in the 70s. The only exception is once you get past this warm front out in the northeast, where you do get some snow showers out by Maine. Overall, nothing too big. And then furthermore, out in the west, you really can see this area of low pressure and cold front out by Arizona. This is our only major player right now nationally. There's a marginal risk for severe weather, maybe some threat of flash flooding. Overall, nothing too concerning. And so this satellite kind of just iterates what I've been talking about. You see this dry air associated with the high pressure. And then furthermore, a little bit of action going into the Halifax area and out by Maine with the showers. And then once again, out to the graphic out in California, you can see this trough and bringing it to our moisture into Arizona. And this will be the next player for Tallahassee, and that's going to be the rain chances coming into the weekend. So that's something we'll definitely keep an eye out. And then as I said earlier, once again, just some of those rain showers and snow showers out by Boston and Maine, and some lingering showers out by the Mid-Atlantic with that stationary front. And then our big player right here in California, you can see this moisture streaming up from the Gulf of California. You can even see some embedded lightning strikes. And that is that marginal risk we've been talking about. So just keep that in mind. Bring an umbrella. Phoenix is not used to exactly seeing a lot of rain in Arizona. So just keep in mind it won't be your typical sunny skies that we're used to seeing. And then among those muddled fronts here, there's another stationary front draped across Montana, bringing some intermountain snow, especially up in the higher elevations. And then, so this is kind of just a summary of all those storms we've seen in the west. Flash flood warning and some fire weather advisory with those strong Santa Ana winds in California. Just keep in mind about that. And then if we head up into Montana, there's also some winter weather advisories to see. So for the next 24 hours, you see that big dome of high pressure out in Tallahassee in the southeast, keeping things dry. And then eventually we will see some moisture work out into the west as this new trough develops in, and now eventually bring some moisture into our area. But let's look out to tonight's forecast. Tallahassee 45, and as you get up, obviously cooler behind that warm front. It's 44, 32 in Detroit, and then similarly out west, it'll be a little bit warmer with that ridge settling in. And then for tomorrow's forecast, same thing in the southeast. Generally sunny, 70s, 40s up north, a little bit cooler, and then also pretty mild out west. Now we're going to bring it out to Sloan, and let's see what our local forecast is.
Thank you so much, Hayden. It has been a beautiful day for the most part in Tallahassee. Currently outside, 60 degrees, clear skies in sight. We have a live look over Doak right now. We can still see the sun setting, not completely set yet, causing us this nice purple color in the background. It is gorgeous outside, a great night to go outside, and we can all say thank you to this high pressure system sitting over the southeast, as Hayden and Jonathan have both said, causing us to have these nicer conditions, these mild conditions to linger up until about the weekend. But for right now, nothing happening for the Big Bend. Clear skies, not really a cloud in sight, nothing popping up along I-10. So a great time to go outside, eat dinner outside, maybe even study on Landis right now. Temperature-wise, 60 for Tallahassee again, 54 in Thomasville, down there at the shoreline, 60 in Apalachicola. Quincy seems to be the only place with clouds on the map. Dew Point, fairly dry. Again, we have these mild conditions lingering. It's feeling like a true Tallahassee fall, and by that I mean it's still warm outside, but it's dry, it's nice, it's comfortable, something we've been waiting for a while here in the Big Bend, and it's just been gorgeous. Taking a look at our wind speeds, though, we still have some winds from the south-southwest, bringing a little bit of that moisture onshore, especially down there in Apalachicola, but not a whole lot. So those dew points are relatively low. It's comfortable outside, not breezy outside, and we can expect this also to linger up until about Friday. Taking a look at tonight's forecast, 45 in Monticello, 43 in Thomasville. Some clouds out there at Bainbridge at 43, and then some clouds again in Apalachicola at about 49 degrees. Taking a look at tomorrow, though, still warm, still above 65 for the Big Bend, 68 in Valdosta, 71 in Perry, 70 in Quincy, 69 again in Monticello, and then 71 degrees is our expected high for us here in Tallahassee. But those clear skies are in sight, maybe a cloud passing by in the afternoon hours, but 8 a.m. about 50 degrees in the morning, so it might be a good idea to bring that sweatshirt to class, and you can take it off as the day begins to heat up. And by 4 o'clock, about 70 degrees, just a 1 degree lower than our high, but a beautiful day. It's a great morning to go outside, go for a run, take your dog on a walk. These are the perfect outdoor conditions. We do have a home game tomorrow against Chattanooga. 62 degrees about the start time of 6:30, so it may be a good idea to bring that sweatshirt with you first, especially after the game when you're leaving the Civic Center, just because it'll be a little bit chilly outside. And for the next 7 days, look at these beautiful conditions lingering, warmer than what we saw today on Friday, 74 degrees, but then those rain chances come right back into the picture Saturday and Sunday as we have another front beginning to move through, but to clear up on Monday and Tuesday, but still staying relatively warm. I'm going to pass things off to Michael now to take a look at Arizona.
Yeah, thanks, Sloan. And you see the front that's going to impact us Saturday into Sunday. We're going to actually take a look at where that is right now, and it's actually in Arizona. So it is pretty active in Arizona right now. It's been pretty quiet over the summertime and into the early fall, but now starting to get some activity as the wet season has started really beginning in Arizona and the desert southwest. You can see a plume of moisture moving into Phoenix. This is from the remnants of the tropical system that was down the eastern Pacific, Raymond. The remnants of that moisture has now finally moved up into Arizona, giving them some much needed rainfall. A lot of Arizona gets their rainfall during this time of year, between now and about into February and into March. Because of the rainfall and given that Arizona is a desert, no surprise we have a flash flood watch in effect until Wednesday night locally. We also have winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings in the higher elevations of Arizona, especially in the mountains north of Phoenix and east of Phoenix. So with the rainfall and a little bit of instability, there is a slight chance of a marginal risk for a severe storm down towards southern Arizona, but not really high. The main threat with this system is going to be the rainfall, and much needed rainfall. So currently with the rain out towards Phoenix, cooling down right there, 59 degrees, a little bit warmer down towards Yuma at 73 degrees and 66 in Tucson. Now with the tropical moisture coming in from the Pacific, dew points are a little bit higher down towards southern Arizona with 63 in Yuma and 60 in Tucson. Up toward the northern parts of Arizona, given the higher elevation and how the moisture hasn't completely gone there yet, dew points a little bit lower with the 20s in Flagstaff. Winds are coming off the south and off the Gulf of California, providing that moisture and that much needed rainfall for the state. Now finally, for the 3-day forecast, notice how it will be a little bit rainy on Wednesday with temperatures much cooler compared to the last few days in the mid-60s. The system still hangs around as the trough is still impacting Arizona and Phoenix. So another day of rainy conditions and much cooler than average conditions, 65 degrees on Thursday. And then finally the trough exits, high pressure builds in, so temperatures much nicer on Friday, 67 degrees, a little bit cooler compared to the last few weeks in Arizona, but much drier as we head towards the weekend. Now let's send it off to Zach with a look back towards Florida.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, Phoenix, honestly, you're not too much cooler than we are here in Tallahassee. It's pretty amazing to say that, and they're in the desert, they're actually a little bit cooler than we are here in Tallahassee. The sun is almost gone. It's pretty dark out there right now, 6:20. It's been about an hour since the sun has set. Once again, looking at that big picture map, that high pressure region here in the southeast, it just keeps hanging on for dear life. And all of this other mess up here in the north is just kind of happening. And the high pressure is going to win for the next couple of days, but that might not necessarily be sticking around. Right now, over Florida, not a cloud in the sky really over Tallahassee, much of the area. It's been pretty nice. It's been a great day here. Really, generally overall, temperatures, our cool spot tonight is Gainesville, 54 degrees, 60 right now in Tally. West Palm Beach and Fort Myers, twins here at 71, and Miami, the land of endless summer, it's still 77 degrees, and you have not stopped with the August and September conditions, unfortunately for you all. Dew points right now, 42 in Tallahassee, still in those mid-40s area. But over here towards Orlando, 34 degrees, so a dry spot over there. More moist here as we get down towards the south, once again, where there's warmer temperatures were as well. 56 in Miami, and down there at the bottom, 63. That is Key West reporting, and of course the island there. Next 24 hours or so, more of the same. We have that northwesterly flow, and it's going to keep all the clouds basically out of the region. Not going to see a whole lot on this map, not a whole lot going on really with our weather other than the nice conditions. Tonight's forecast, 40s here in the northern half of Florida, 50s as we get down here towards Fort Myers, West Palm Beach, and 60, once again, our warm spot there in Miami. So yeah, generally more warm, more moist as we get towards there in the south. Tomorrow's forecast, 70s here as we get around the Tampa Bay region. A little bit warmer as we get here towards the south. We got Bartow, 73 degrees, Northport, 76, Venice, 76, and Tampa itself, Tampa City proper, 73. As we get towards Miami here, we got Homestead, 77 degrees, 75 down there in Key West. You know, there's a country song, Sunny and 75, and that is exactly the kind of thing we're going to be talking about as we get into tomorrow. Gorgeous beach conditions. Of course, the water down here is just as warm, if not warmer, than the air temperature. It's going to feel great. West Palm Beach, once again, 75 degrees. Miami proper, 78. You really honestly can't ask for better conditions than what we're seeing down here tomorrow. Cocoa Beach, as we get a little farther north there on the Atlantic coast, Daytona Beach as well, a pair of 70s. 73 if we're heading out to Disney, if we're starting that nice vacation a little bit early, hitting the theme park, 73, Okeechobee, 74. Really, it's going to be a great, great day no matter where you're looking. As we go into the Jacksonville and the Gainesville region, 70 degrees there. And as we're going into the Panhandle, Destin, 70 degrees, Mobile, 72, Mariana, 71. Overall, across much of the state, it's really looking like an absolutely great part to your middle week here. Now I'm going to pass it off to Michael with a last look at your local.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. And we're going to take a look finally here into Tallahassee. Very nice conditions, honestly. Again today, it's been a very nice few days compared to how it's been over the weekend and going into last week. 60 degrees right now. Sun has set under those clear skies with a very light southwest wind at 3 miles per hour. Now, the trough that has been impacting us over the last few days is finally exiting off the east coast. High pressure is going to be building in over the next few days. That's going to allow the temperatures to warm up to where they should be for this time of year. We've been well below average for the last few days. The high pressure will bring in a little surge of that warmer air before our next system arrives, again, currently out towards the west coast. And that will arrive as we go into the weekend, Saturday into Sunday. But right now, very nice conditions as high pressure is starting to build in. And we're going to be on a little bit of a warming trend over the next few days with temperatures going into the low to mid-70s, feeling really nice for mid-November standards. Again, 60 degrees here in Tallahassee on those clear skies. Some lower 50s up towards Thomasville and Valdosta, 54 in Thomasville, 52 in Valdosta. Dew points still relatively low, and it's feeling fall-like out there with the dew points, again, in the low to mid-40s. a little bit closer to 50 as you head down towards the Gulf Coast. Now the winds, they're starting to shift. We've had more of a northwesterly wind, turning a little bit into westerly, and that's going to bring in the warmer air for the next few days and make it feel much nicer compared to how it was the last few days over the weekend. With those sunny skies and southwesterly winds, we'll be able to warm up into those low and mid 70s. Over the next 24 hours, this is not broken. We are not expecting any cloud cover really, as high pressure really dominates our region for the next 2 days. Changes will start to come as we go into Friday with a little bit increase of cloud cover, and then we'll have the rain associated with the frontal system on Saturday. But for tonight, with those clear skies and relatively light winds, we'll be able to cool down rather quickly with that radiational cooling. So 45 degrees will be our low under those clear skies. And then tomorrow, with that relatively dry air, mostly sunny skies, will heat up pretty quickly to around average conditions for this time of year. 71 degrees, perfect conditions for the middle of November and going into Thanksgiving week. And if you want to head out toward the Tucker Center going into tomorrow evening, 6:30 is tip-off against Chattanooga. 62 degrees at that tip-off. Might want to bring a sweatshirt. It was a little cool down to the 50s by the time the game ends, and let's hope it's not a nail-biter like it was against our home opener against Western Carolina. Finally, for the 7-day, we'll have nice clear conditions for the rest of the work week, and then that frontal system currently located on the West Coast moves into our region Saturday into Sunday. The cooler air moves in on Sunday, and then it feels more fall-like again as we go into the next work week. Then we'll have to watch as we go into Thanksgiving, as there's going to be another developing system as we off into the plains. So we'll keep an eye on that for later this week into next week.
It is beautiful outside though today, so we really
yeah.
can't complain, and it's going to linger into Friday, causing it to be a great time to go outside, maybe eat lunch outside tomorrow in between classes.
I totally agree. Last week it felt cloudy, it was cold as well. I really didn't want to go outside, but now we're in the 70s, it's more sunny. That's like my perfect range. When it's in the 70s, it feels awesome out there with the
I'm
sunny
saying
skies.
this is the fall weather we've been waiting for in Tallahassee. We had that really hot summer, very hot and dry September,
for sure.
and then a warm October, and now we're starting to cool off a bit, but not too much. So it's like a gradual cool off compared to last week where it was very sharp and sudden.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is honestly perfect for next 3 days. 70 degrees and into the mid 70s as we go into Friday, under the sunny skies. And then we'll also get the rain chances as we go into the weekend. Timing is not great, but we do need the rain
chances
here.
aren't that great though too, so they shouldn't really hinder your weekend activities. An umbrella though might be a good idea to keep it on you, but we don't have any more football games here in Tallahassee, so no need to carry that poncho with you.
Yep, no need to worry about the poncho if you do head out. And it's not looking to be a huge washout.
No.
Front's going to be weaker by the time it gets here, but it does bring a little cool blast as we go into Sunday, into Monday, but not as cold as it was last week.
And if you're looking for any weekend activities, there is a basketball game, so you can stay dry there. But be sure to follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather.
Yeah, don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And if you're watching us live on YouTube right now, thank you. And be sure to watch all of our other shows too at youtube.com/FSU Weather.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram. If you did catch a pic of the sunset from just the hour ago, it might be a nice idea to send that to us.
It might be. It was beautiful. But with everybody here from FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Sloan Haynes.
I'm student meteorologist Michael Line. We'll see you this time here tomorrow.